Long, long ago, in a great and ancient city, there lived a wealthy merchant who had recently lost his dear wife. Sad as he was grateful he still had his little daughter. Her name was Eka, and he loved her dearly. Shortly after her mother's death, however, Eka came down with a strange illness that no one could diagnose. Try as they might, the doctors could find no cause and no cure, and the child declined daily. One day, as the distraught father sat by his daughter's bedside, he happened to ask her, "What can I do that will make you feel better, my child?"
There's only one thing, Papa. Every night, Mama used to sing me a song about the moon. Get me the moon, Papa, and I will feel better.
Oh, poor man. His daughter wanted the moon. How could he grant his daughter's wish? But to save her life, he knew he must try. He wasted no time. He spared no expense. He sent for all the experts in the great city. When the experts heard what the merchant wanted them to do, they were shocked. The moon? Why, it is hundreds of miles away. No ladder or building could ever be built tall enough to reach it. And besides, it is made of solid rock and is as big as the Raja's palace.
It is much worse than that. The moon is thousands of miles away, is made of green cheese, and is as big as a mountain.
It is much, much worse than that. The moon is 1,000,000 miles away, is made of the densest iron possible, and is as big as all of Asia.
Give her the moon? Impossible, ridiculous. Give her the moon.
Well, listening at the door was the young serving boy who always brought Eka her meals. He was her good friend and knew her well. He plucked up his courage and boldly walked into the middle of the gathering of experts.
Excuse me, honored sirs, but I think I may be able to help.
A serving boy who thinks he knows more than we do? What a ridiculous idea. Get out, boy.
But the merchant silenced them and said, "Let him try. None of you are helping." So that night, when the boy brought Eka her dinner, the father and the experts all followed along and watched secretly from the hallway.
Eka, I heard your father say that you needed the moon to make you better. Tell me, Eka, how can we get the moon? It is so far away.
No, it isn't, silly. It's there, just outside my window, at the top of the big palm tree.
Oh, I see. But tell me, Eka, how shall we carry it down? It is so big.
You are silly. Can't you see the moon is only as big as my thumbnail?
Ah, but tell me, Eka, what is the moon made out of?
It's made out of gold, of course.
So, as you can imagine, the very next night there was a little gold moon around Eka's neck. She began to feel better instantly. But the experts all shook their fingers in warning.
Clever idea, they said. But how will you explain it to her when the moon comes up tonight?
So that night, as the moon rose into the treetop, they all followed the boy to Eka's bedroom.
I don't understand, Eka. Tell me, how is it possible that the moon is in the sky when even now you hold it in your hand?
It's easy. The moon is like your baby teeth. When one is lost, another one grows in its place.
And so, because Eka believed she held the moon, she felt her mother was near, and she was comforted, she soon began to feel better. And what of the serving boy who was wise enough to ask? Well, he became like a son to the merchant and was richly rewarded for his imaginative thinking.